Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. Welcome to my late stream. Bitcoin holds strong despite F2POOL dump. I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed that like a few hours ago. Bitcoin just dumped down, and not only Bitcoin, the entire market went down with it. But you know what? Bitcoin came right back up. It's holding strong, and so are the altcoins. And I'm here to say that yes, our good old friends F2POOL was behind that. So let's take a look at what happened, how much liquidations it caused, and what we should do about it. There's a lot of crypto on sale right now. So I'm going to spend a good amount of time going through a list and just having a good old time with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. I forgot to say, I am George. We are all George. We're all one. We're all in this together. So let's do this. Let's do this. All right, let me change my screen here. All right, so you could see, look at the screen, Bitcoin is at 56,500, right? Now it's coming back up, but this happened. Yes, like I was outside right now. I was outside when this happened, and I look at my phone, I'm like, whoa. And then you could see that Bitcoin dropped from 56,500, roughly where we are now. And then it dropped. It dropped to 55,000. Then it kept going. It kept going all the way to 53,981. That was a pretty good drop. I mean, relatively speaking, I mean, this is really nothing compared to some of the drops before, but at least, for this time period, I guess it's a decent amount of drop, right? But you know what? Bitcoin is strong. Too many people are buying Bitcoin at this point, and whoop, right back up, right back up. So that is what happened. Of course, a lot of altcoins fell with it because everything, all the bots and everything was programmed. If you see Bitcoin go down, it auto sells. That's why a lot of them went down. But now they're all back in green and almost back to its original level, right? So, and guess what? CryptoQuant at that time was somehow down. Now, I don't know. CryptoQuant isn't a service that is like mass. It's not like exchanges where all of a sudden you have a massive amount of influx of users. For some reason, CryptoQuant was down at that time, right? And I got an email saying that they were down, so I don't know what happened there. But now they're up. But now it's clear what happened. So I'm going to move my camera out. You can see that ever since this huge dump of 2,700 Bitcoin, and that was back in February 9th, there was a little more, but you can see the volume really dropped down until this stood out. This really stands out. 854 Bitcoins dumped in a single hour. That's what caused it. It's simple as that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist like Elon or Michael to figure it out that, yeah, this dump was probably what caused Bitcoin to come down in a very rapid manner. And then it was just eaten up again, right? Like the market does. So, I mean, that's a substantial amount of Bitcoins. So why did this happen? So I'm just going to throw you a theory out there, right? And I've seen this time and time and again. Every time when the market gets too comfortable, every time people are feeling that Bitcoin cannot come down and it can only go up and up and up, during those times, people tend to get super greedy. They have very long contracts, future contracts with leverage that's open because they feel like it's a sure thing that Bitcoin can only go up and you're exponentially making more. You're multiplying your buying power basically with leverage and with open contracts. And every time that happens, you know what? One of these events happens where there's a sudden long squeeze because of a sudden, outflow from F2POOL or somewhere else, right? It gets dumped. It causes this, and it causes all these longs, these super longs, to get liquidated. Remember not too long ago, a lot of you guys told me BitBoy created a video saying how he lost $150,000. That was due to one of these events. So hopefully he didn't have another super big long contract where he got liquidated again. But that's the same thing. A lot of people tend to get too comfortable. They go too long, and this always happens. So is this done purposefully? I think so. I think this was done on purpose to do that, exactly that long squeeze, right? So I was, right before this, I was trying to desperately look for what kind of damage this just did, right, in terms of liquidation. I found a new website that actually shows the total amount of liquidations across all the exchanges, basically, and it'll measure longs and shorts. And you could see that today is actually pretty big compared to before. And you can see in total, about 400 millions of longs were liquidated today. 400 million compared to 175 million shorts that was liquidated. So yeah, there was a lot of shorters that was liquidated probably this morning because Bitcoin went up quite a bit, right? But because of that flash dump, you had 400 million worth of longs also get liquidated, mostly on Binance and Bybit. And basically everywhere that has a lot of leverage, except Bitfinex. Somehow Bitfinex is really good these days. But anyways, that was the damage. That's a lot. That was a lot. Not as much as this one, where it was like 500 million that was liquidated. But you can see, compared to relative times, this is actually the second most within the last month or so, right? So obviously that's what happened. Now, who's behind it? F2POOL themselves. Whales that's on F2POOL, I don't know, but it's pretty obvious that this was a cause for sure. But like I said, I've always said this, you know, a lot of people, when they're feeling really good, like markets right now, right, they'll take more risk, put down their collateral, borrow money, and buy more crypto, right? A lot of those people probably got liquidated too, because when you put down collateral to borrow against, there's like a loan to collateral ratio you need to maintain. And if you can't maintain it, that gets liquidated too. They'll just liquidate what you have to make up for it. So, so whenever you feel too good, right, that's fine. You feel greedy, and that's fine, but don't overdo it. Don't spend more than what you have. And when you borrow against your crypto or you go long and leverage, that's when things could get bad. That's when you could lose it all. If you hold a crypto that goes down 90%, you know what? If you don't sell it, it could come back and you don't lose nothing. But if you get liquidated, you get liquidated. It's gone. You're not going to get that back, right? So that's why I always say don't leverage, don't put down, you know, collateral to borrow money, especially if you're utilizing that to buy more crypto, right? It's dangerous. There are certain whales out there that are looking for opportunities like this to liquidate you, right? So I don't know who it is, but that always gets done. And recently there's been a few cases of that, right? So that is what happened. But regardless of that, guess what? Bitcoin came right back up, right? Bitcoin came right back up. The bulls ate it all up. Whoever's watching the market, they just bought it all back, right? Hopefully some of you guys took advantage. Maybe you didn't, but some people probably took advantage, bought the dip. You know, you could have bought Bitcoin for 53,800, 53,900, right? That's an instant 3,000. Yeah, no, 2,500 gain if you bought a full Bitcoin. But I mean, yeah. And all coins, some of them dropped 20%, you know, it came right back up, right? So, in situations like that, do not panic. Do not panic sell. If anything, I always say, if you need to panic one way, panic buy. Don't panic sell. Don't ever panic sell, because that's when you usually lose out on the most. All right. So that's exactly what happened. Just want to give you guys explanation. I told you I'll keep my eyes on F2POOL, but it's just really suspicious that Crypto Quant all of a sudden went down at that time. I don't know why. They just went down, and now we can see exactly what happened. All right. So with that said, with that said, what can we do about it? Some people will say, hey, let them do it. It gives us buy opportunities. And that's kind of true. But I think bringing awareness, obviously, I think spreading the word obviously had an impact, which is why if you look at some of this previous times before today, where the volume was really low, I think a lot of that had to do with awareness and people letting F2POOL know that they can't get away with it. So that's number one. I think we'll have to continue to do that. But number two is just freaking take advantage, right? That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to take advantage, is that if there's a dip, some of you guys always wonder, hey, when should I buy? Should I wait for a dip? Yeah. Okay, that was a dip, you go ahead and do so. So let's go through the list. Things come back really fast, so they're not really discounted anymore, but I know a lot of you guys wanted, see me just kind of go through some of these the top 100 of things that I like, the altcoin that I talked about before, so I'll go ahead and do that. Let's do this. And I just noticed that CMC added a few more things here. So I knew they had derivatives in DeFi, but now they have Polkadot Eco. So everything that's related to Polkadot, I like that. Everything that relates to NTFs and collectibles, I like that. They even have one for Binance Chain. I like that too. Interesting that they didn't add one for Cardano. Well, because Cardano's not done, so I guess that makes sense. But I like that. It makes it a little bit easier. Francisco asks, do you have a video on your advice as to how to split your crypto between trade market, staking, earnings? No, because I don't do any of those things besides just buy and hodl. I don't stake, I don't mine, and I don't know what you mean by earnings. I don't yield farm. I don't do any of that. So I don't have a video on any of those. And it's really your preference. There's no right or wrong to that. So, all right. So let's go down the list. Am I from Vegas? No, I'm still trying to coordinate. So there's, just to give you an update on Vegas. Number one is everyone's telling me Vegas is still very locked down. So you can't even really plan ahead. I'm trying to plan for September, October, but right now, as of right now, you can't have any gatherings more than 100 people. So they said in May, it'll change to 200, but then you have to wait to see what the outcome is after that. Like September, October, we don't know. So I'm anticipating this Vegas conference/party is going to have 500 plus, maybe even 1,000 people show up. So it's kind of hard to plan right now, but I'm still working at it. So make a buy the dip shirt. I do have shirts. There's a lot of shirts out there that I already have. You guys should see it right under the super chat. I mean, the live chat. If you have your ad blocker off, you'll see it. If you have your ad blocker on, you won't see it. I just realized that. But there's a lot of shirts. I can make something like that. It's pretty easy to do. All right. Let's do this. Let's go down the list. All right. Ethereum. I'm conflicted. I think Ethereum will do fine. Ethereum will do fine as long as Bitcoin keeps going fine, going up. But I'm conflicted now because of what's going on with congestion and gas fees, right? So, in fact, I just created a video yesterday about can it be possible that something like Binance Chain flips with Ethereum? And if the dApps continue to struggle, if DeFi numbers continue to go down, possibly. But we're hearing rumors now, like Uniswap is coming out their layer 2 solutions, and who know if other projects are doing the same. So that may save Ethereum in the meantime, right? But Ethereum is still a good hold. A lot of people love it. They have the network effect, at least right now, right? But the three afterwards, man, neck to neck to neck. Binance Coin, right? Of course, Binance, Polkadot, who has been going up quite a bit recently, and Cardano. They all have what I call the network effect now, except Cardano doesn't have a network effect because their network is not done, but they have the base, that's for sure. So many people believe in Charles and Cardano. That's why it continues to go up. But you can see they're neck and neck. 43 billion, 36 billion, 35 billion. They're right at the heels of Ethereum. And this is their time to shine because Ethereum can't get done with 2.0 for another year. And they're just really limited in terms of what they could do with their network, right? That's why these are really, really coming out fast, even faster than I anticipated. But Binance Chain and Polkadot, they're done. And there's something about Polkadot too. I just saw this, that Polkadot is going to open up their interoperability bridge pretty soon. They're going to be voting on it pretty soon. And if it is voted through, then basically Polkadot will be able to talk to Ethereum. And is it Ethereum and Bitcoin? Or is it Ethereum and Binance Chain? I can't find it. But I think number one is for sure it's Ethereum. I don't know if it's open up to other chains. But this is the reason why a lot of people are also very hopeful for Polkadot, because maybe a lot of those DeFi projects will move to Polkadot, right? There's not a lot of DeFi projects on Polkadot right now, but the hope is that there will be a lot more. And Cardano. So these three, obviously, very, very good holds, but I like Binance Coin a lot because of the Binance effect, because of the deflationary nature, and there's just a whole lot for BNB, but Polkadot is definitely here. A lot of people love Polkadot. A lot of dApps are coming on board, right? They have a lot of traction. And Cardano's Cardano. When Cardano, but like I said, they don't have the network effect, but they have a ton of loyal followers. That's for sure. Okay, and then I'm going to skip down to number 9, which is the next one I like, is Chainlink. Link Marines, they hold strong. Link is very necessary in the ecosystem because they're the biggest Oracle play. And Oracle is just a really fancy way of saying a middleman that can retrieve data. And that's pretty much it. It retrieves data for utilizing API services from all these projects, and that is what it does. And DeFi projects really, really need to use a good Oracle like Chainlink. Now, skipping down, Uniswap. Uniswap and Aave and Dogecoin, these three. Uniswap, they're almost a big cap now, almost at 10 billion. Okay, so in my mind, a big cap is anything above 10 billion. They shot up because of rumors that V3 will have that layer 2 bridge built in. If so, it would give them a huge advantage over all other DeFi projects on Ethereum. So that would be huge. So I would say yes, definitely still a good hold. Although today they pumped up already 47%. So I don't know. It's probably best to let it cool down a little bit. But before, I've always said Uniswap, Aave, two of the biggest plays. You can't go wrong holding them, right? Until recently, they kind of stalled out a little bit. But we'll see if they can pick up momentum, especially with Uniswap with this layer 2. But I have no idea when V3 is going to be done. Hopefully, that's in the near future. But if it turns out that is rumor and it wasn't built, I think that would hurt Uniswap quite a bit. Dogecoin is Dogecoin. But like I said, after they pumped up, after Elon got serious, I said that they're going to stay. I don't think they're going to fall down to a penny, sub-pennies, or even 2 cents, 2 or 3 cents. I think 5 cents may be their bottom. Despite what happened, a lot of FUD and just people not liking Dogecoin at all. People bashing it, saying it's going to go down and it has served no purpose, blah, blah. It's still holding out above 5 cents, right? So I think Dogecoin could be a good one to hold. And Tesla, I still think Tesla's going to open up Dogecoin payments for purchasing. Serenai, appreciate that. Aave, I mentioned, biggest lending company, or second biggest. Makers first, but Aave is a little bit different. So I do like Aave. I like Aave more, so I think they're a good hold. Cosmos is a blockchain that a lot of people don't pay attention to, including myself. But they recently just opened up Stargate, which is actually pretty big. Stargate basically is an interoperable bridge, which allows them to now communicate to any chain that's built utilizing the Cosmos SDK and utilizing Tendermint consensus. Basically, Cosmos is just an ecosystem of chains. And with that bridge, they can all talk to each other seamlessly. And here's the thing, and thank you to someone that brought this up in my Patreon, that Binance Smart Chain and Binance Chain are both built utilizing Cosmos SDK and Tendermint. So Binance kind of just like did their own thing, kind of rebranded it to their own thing. But with this Stargate bridge, potentially, Binance Smart Chain can communicate relatively easily to any other chain within the Cosmos ecosystem. So that's actually pretty big too. So Cosmos, I think they're actually pretty good look right now. There are a few things that's built, some dApps built on top of it too. Moving down the list, you know, I mentioned about exchange coins, right? They're very, very hot right now. US can't buy Huobi, but there are a few others I'll get to in a little bit. Theta, I really love. They have done amazing things with decentralized streaming, and they continue to do so. They're going to open up staking on their edge nodes pretty soon, which I think is pretty big. And they do token minting too. So I kind of thought about, a lot of people keep asking me, hey, you should mint a George coin or something. And maybe I'll do that on Theta. It's really easy. It's like you just click a few buttons and it's done. It's really, really easy to mint your own coin. Tezos is good. It's just I don't know anything that's going on with Tezos right now. VeChain, definitely good. Will be a top 10 coin in the future. I've always said that. Ton of partnerships in China. And someone did mention that they're getting involved with NFTs. There is a promising NFT play that is built on top of VeChain. Not with a team, but it's built on top of it. So they are getting NFTs. So I'm going to reveal what that is down the road, but I need to do more research on it. Neo, I don't know what's going on with Neo. I don't know what's going on, Neo. Frosty, Riot Blockchain, if you're talking about the mining company, yeah, they're on fire. They're on fire. As long as Bitcoin does well, they're going to do really well. People ask me about Crypto.com. Now, I can't confirm this because in the past, you couldn't buy CRO tokens in the US, but someone said you can. So I don't know if it's directly, I guess maybe directly on Crypto.com itself. Maybe some of you guys can confirm or not, but I know like Bittrex, you can't before. It's only the international version of Bittrex you can. So Crypto.com is also promising. They have a financial app that pretty much does everything. So they're pretty good too. Saran, would you consider telling us your crypto percentage? No, I would not. I've never done that, and I will never do that because I don't want anyone to copy what I have. I could give you approximations. You know, what my makeup is, I always said like 50-50. Or I used to say, you know, 50, 25, 25. Now I'm saying more like 50-50, but that's still the best recommendation. 50% of Bitcoin, 50% of altcoins. Before it was 50, 25, 25, where it's broken up mid caps and big caps. And right now it's still okay, but small caps still not moving as much. So I still think 50% more mid caps and big caps at this point. Ant asked me, how likely is IP 1559 implementation for Ethereum? Do you think it's a knock-on effect? No, they talked about it for a while. Now, Binance's smart chain had BNB's deflationary thing has been on for a while. But from everything I've read, the miners hate it and they don't want to approve it. So it looks like it's unlikely that it's going to happen. But a lot of people are wishing that it did. It definitely helps with predicting gas prices, and also it brings it to be more like a deflationary nature. But I heard miners don't like it. So we'll see. Maybe they can negotiate something else. Why did gas pump 300%? No idea, because people just like to pump things. When can we expect a George coin? I don't know. I'm still debating it. I don't want to get in trouble with the SEC. Moving forward, the graph is really, really good. Provide API access for projects. So if people want to access data like Uniswap has. Their API created through the graph, so it's definitely needed. Solana, promising blockchain, very, very fast. There's a few projects that's built. Actually, they ported from Ethereum to Solana. Like Kick, not a lot of people's talking about Kick because I don't think they're done, but Kick's project, or Kin, is moved on to Solana. Another DeFi project was moved to Solana. There's a few that moved there. Synthetic, creation of synthetic things and trading it. So that's pretty popular. Terra is fantastic. Their stablecoin maker, which doesn't sound very exciting, but they have a whole ecosystem of apps that utilizes their stablecoins, and terrific team as well. Rav4, thoughts on BNB? Any prediction? Well, you must have not watched my video where I said it was going to go to $2,500. So that's my prediction. It's going to go to $2,500 by the end of the year. As long as Bitcoin, everything hinders on Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin continues to do its thing, then yes, it's possible. But if Bitcoin somehow tops out, then it's a different story. But I don't think that's going to happen. And speaking of Bitcoin, it's right back up to 56,700. So it's almost like this didn't happen. If you zoom out, like on the daily chart, then you realize that nothing really did happen. It's only on the smaller charts can you see it. So when in doubt, go into the daily chart, and then you'll realize everything is good. That's when you realize everything is good. Moving on, Maker, lending project. I like the equivalent, the BSC version of Maker, which is Venus. A lot more affordable, and it's not on Ethereum. Algorand, promising. Not very exciting. Elrond, same thing, another promising blockchain. I like their leadership a lot, mostly because they're investors in Binance, so they're part owners. That's go carry them far, and it has so far. But they're also very fast blockchain, and they're also in DeFi too, so it definitely helps. Sushi, one that I really liked as a good alternative to Uniswap. They've been weak as of late, but you can see today they're rallying up a little bit. We'll see if that can hold. Compound is a good alternative to Aave. Kusama is a testbed blockchain for Polkadot, which has done very well for itself too. It's $2 billion, right? But over the last, let's say, 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, it has not outperformed Polkadot. So that's the thing. So I still like Polkadot better than Kusama. Vika asks, UMA is my only non-performing one. Keep it. I don't know. It's up to you, man. I can't tell you to keep it or dump it. Hard drama. My 2021 purchase power, 25, 25, 25. BTC, ETH, ADA, Link, Cardano's carrying me 2021. What do you think? Well, that makeup is pretty good. I like all those. BTC, ETH, ADA, Link. I don't think you could go wrong with that makeup. Real thoughts on Civic Coin? I have no real thoughts on Civic Coin. Pancake Swap, the one I've been talking about a lot. Taking a breather today, but it is the biggest AMM on Binance Chain, so that's why it's been going up so much. It surpassed SushiSwap until today, where they pumped up. So let's see if PancakeSwap will come back up, because just because Uniswap has a layer 2 solution doesn't mean SushiSwap has a layer 2 solution, right? So we'll see if that happens. I think right now, whatever's happening on Binance Smart Chain is going to continue. It's not going to stop just after a day. Everything has gone up hundreds and percent, so it's taking a breather, but I do think it's going to continue. How's Bake at the current price? Yes, because it's still very low. Bake is still very low, and honestly, it's holding really, really well. So that's kind of why I was saying that, because I don't think the DeFi projects on Binance Smart Chain is going away anytime soon. Raven, honestly, I don't know why it's pumping. I get what they're doing, but I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So they're basically tokenizing assets, but they're utilizing Bitcoin code, which isn't very scalable. And And you don't know. I don't know if they're utilizing some kind of layer 2 solution or not. I don't know why they're pumping today. It could just be because they're pumping. But, Ravencoin, I'm just kind of neutral on. Thorchain, I don't know too much about Thorchain. I'll look at them after I go through this list. I'm halfway there. Let me go through this. Zilliqa has some stuff coming up. Promisey blockchain. They have a lottery system now for stakers and stuff like that. They're also coming out native tokens. They're doing a few things. UMA, the creation of wrapped stuff for DeFi on Ethereum. So wrap Bitcoin, wrap Dogecoin. But here's the thing: if they're all congested, then not a whole lot of people are using them, right? So I don't know if they're gonna come back. Let's hope they do. A lot of these projects, they need to figure out whether or not they should port themselves to like a layer 2 solution, or port themselves to another blockchain, right? Because there's a lot, and they need to figure out quickly. They need to figure out real quick. Brett asks, looking good on Cake Bake. Said I super chat if Cake went past 11. Ha. Do you like Crypto.com coin at all? Yeah, I just got done looking at them. I think they're a good project. They've been around for a while. They're definitely big. I don't think you could buy it in the US though. That's the thing. I don't think you could buy it, but maybe that's changed. Maybe that's changed on the app. But before, it was prohibited to US residents. But yeah, they have a lot of things going on. They seem very promising. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but they spent like $2 million to buy Crypto.com. They used to be called Monaco. They spend a lot of advertisement everywhere, on YouTube especially, and they have their own debit cards, right? With many debit cards. Not debit cards, Visa cards. So they have a lot of things going on. They're actually pretty promising, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about them. But I do hear a lot of people talk about Voyager, which is continuing to go up. They got pumped up because of this whole Coinbase IPO thing. I just did a video this morning about, exchange tokens and how they're going to get hot, I think. So watch out for that. Voyager definitely has been hot. Ren, I also do like a lot now because they created a bridge. So they can do, they bring liquidity to DeFi projects, not only on Ethereum, but also on Binance Smart Chain. So I like that a lot. I think Ren is really positioned themselves really well with that. Celsius is good, but not as good as Aave. Someone just super chatted me about Thorchain. I think there's just another blockchain. Let me see. Decentralized liquidity protocol that allows users to easily exchange crypto assets around a range of networks. Okay, I was wrong. They're more like Ren. They're a liquidity provider. It was funded through initial DEX offering, IDO, when launched through the Binance DEX in 2019. Interesting. Mainnet originally launched in January 2021, but multi-chain upgrade scheduled for 2021. So it looks like they're not done. The platform have no CEO, no founders, no directors. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? Sounds pretty interesting. I just had to do more research on it. But sounds pretty good. Just don't know too much about it. And then remaining on the list, yeah, I'm neutral on Icon, 0x, Digibyte, Hashgraph, Cello, OMG. I do like BAT a lot, but I gotta say they just don't really move. Brave, BAT, Brandon Ike, I love all of them, but it's just a coin that just doesn't move. Everyone that gets rewarded BAT instantly sells it for BTC, so no one's holding BAT. That's the problem. But I do like them a lot. Loopring, Horizon, a Neutron, Matic, Polygon now. They've been making waves recently. Because of congestion, the CEO has been doing a lot of interviews and stuff trying to say their layer 2 solution's awesome. All layer 2 solutions are awesome. It's just whether or not people utilize them. That's the thing. OMG is a layer 2 solution too, and Tether moved on top of them, and no one seems to care. So layer 2 solutions exist. Ethereum doesn't want to utilize them. So it's just a matter of if dApps will utilize them, right? So it really depends on them. Swissborg, another financial play, not open to the US yet. 1inch. 1inch is pretty good. It's it's a DEX aggregator. All the DEXs on Ethereum, they aggregate it, so it's pretty good. Like the idea. Moving down the list. Dodo, a lot of people have been asking me about that at AMM. They've been pumped up quite a bit. I haven't really did a deep dive on them, but one thing that surprised me is that they have done so well without being listed on Binance. Because usually it has to be a list on Binance for it to do well. So that one is an exception. But I do have to look more into them. But basically they're AMA, just like all the others. Up and coming one. Venus is like the maker DAO of Binance Chain. So I really like them. And if you look at the locked in value of Venus, it's actually really, really high. 4 billion versus the market cap of 600 million. So I think this is actually very, very undervalued right now. And then going down the list, like Quant, Ocean, Lisk, they're okay. Neutral in my opinion. Decentraland is more interesting to me now because they are considered NFT play, and NFTs are very, very hot. Decentraland is just like a whole world that's virtual. And Engine also is in NFTs. So both of these are NFTs. I think you can't ignore NFTs in the future, whether or not you like it. Like me, I don't like NFTs, but I recognize it is a growing market. So many people love NFTs, and there's a lot of money to be made. So if you click on NFTs, you could see all the projects that's within. People have been asking me about Red Fox. They're in it as well. Wax is in it. They made a big partnership with Atari recently. Flow is another very promising one that unfortunately U.S. citizens can't seem to get. But yeah, there's a lot. Bondly is the one that Jake Paul is, partner up with. There's a lot of NFT plays that's very, very promising. Very promising indeed. All right, so that's the top 100. So hopefully you guys got some value with that. So any other questions? Let's do some Q&A. Farmer John, are F2POOL and Bybit in bed together? See, that's the thing. That's what I started a stream with. We know that F2POOL dumped, but we don't know why, right? My theory is it's to liquidate longs, because people tend to get too greedy, too comfortable. They go too long, and this type of event, the only thing that makes sense is to liquidate a longs, and we got like about 400 million longs liquidated. So I don't know if that's because of these exchanges, they're helping each other, or they're working with F2POOL or the whales that's on F2POOL. I don't know, but you know what? It's probably done because of that, to liquidate longs, and we had about 400 million longs liquidated today. So yeah, that happened. That happened. So don't be too greedy. Don't leverage. Don't invest more than what you can afford to lose, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay, and take advantage. What do you think is up with AMP over past week? I don't know. AMP is one I covered recently. Very, very promising, and they're in the retail merchant space, and it's used by Flexa app. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. But they're around 3 cents. They're about where they were when I covered them. But yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting thing where they're already accepted at all these merchants. But I guess maybe right now is because no one's out spending money. But when things open up, it could definitely blow up. And they're backed by Gemini too, exchange that I think is a lot better than Coinbase. So yeah. Brent asks, what about Stellar Lumens? Exactly. Like, no one really knows what they're doing. So, it's it's not doing anything exciting right now. So that's why I can't really get excited about Stellar Lumens. Brad asked, day one of Pepe NFT today. Lowest one for 18 ETH, highest one for 110 ETH. That's a lot. Look up NFT on OpenSea.io. What's OpenSea.io? The largest NFT marketplace. I don't know if that's true or not. That might be overstating it, but okay, if I could spell. Okay. I don't know what I'm looking for, other than there's a lot of crypto kitties on here. And people are even creating NFTs of screenshots. Yeah. Okay. I've never heard of OpenSea before. Maybe they are the largest NFT marketplace, but there's a lot out there. Jeff asks, do I plan on holding my crypto forever? No, not forever. Not forever. I don't know. I mean, people have been asking me about that. Like, hey, do you plan on taking profits at all? Right now, no. Because I've told you guys my philosophy right now, what I'm thinking. Paul, appreciate it. My thinking is this. Bitcoin is only getting started. At 56, 57, 60,000, it's only getting started. I've talked about Bitcoin every single day, and we know that there's so much more people that's about to come in. With Bitcoin ETFs that just came out, that's terrific. There's more publicly traded companies coming in, that's going to be terrific. More hedge funds, more pension funds, more retirement funds, they're all going to come in. Retail investors are going to come in. So Bitcoin is only getting started. It's over $1 trillion, so it can't be ignored by anyone now. It's 50%. You know, it has to go up about 50% to reach silver. It still needs to go about 11x until gold, which I think is a certainty. So, with that said, I think it's just the market is just so young right now. And if Bitcoin is leading the way and driving the market up, there's no way that altcoins are not going to come up with it. In fact, I would argue a lot of these altcoins will go up faster than Bitcoin, including some of these big caps that you see right now. So, yeah. So in terms of taking profits, like there's a small amount that I trade with that I tend to, I swing trade and I do take profits like that. But my vast majority of my portfolio is just in. That's it. It's in forever. It's in for the ride. Did I miss something? No, that's it. If you make a crazy monitor, ask me if you make a crazy money off of crypto, what would be your first splurge purchase? I don't know. It has to be a house, I guess. I buy all the little stuff. I'm thinking about leasing some a nice car, but I don't know about a huge purchase. Maybe a house someday, like a mansion. Only a few million. Soap asks, can you share your thoughts on 5-year vet price performance? I can't guess out 5 years. Just know that I believe it's going to be in top 10. So in 5 years, who knows what the top 10 will be. Chainlink in 5 years could be $1 trillion in 5 years. So that's where VeChain could be. So can't really. 5 years prediction is too hard. 1 year is hard enough To do 5 years, you know, it's just, you're just guessing. You're just guessing. Used NSX is best buy for a sports car. I can't doubt that NSX holds its value really well and it is appreciating. But, you know, there was a guy that recently came out and spent basically, was it 37 Bitcoins for 2 NSXs. And he lost out on $1.7 million. So, obviously, NSXs do not appreciate as much as Bitcoin. Mike asks, ton of excitement lately, yes. My grandmother recently mentioned Bitcoin. Hopefully not a bad sign. My grandmother talks about Bitcoin all the time. Well, mostly because my mom talks about Bitcoin and she talks about Bitcoin with her. So that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Remerson, appreciate it. Welcome. A lot of newcomers, right? I've just hit 100,000 today, so that's very exciting. Thank you for you guys. So, but there's always more people that are coming in, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my content. How come you never talk about my other channel? I don't know. I because a lot of times I talk about cars, at least in the past, where I talk about my car channel and then people like, oh, don't talk about cars. You know, it's like I'm surprised a lot of crypto people don't like cars, but I'm going to show my channel. So, but yeah, I also run drivers only. So not bad. Drivers only was actually, I realized I didn't change my camera back, but you know, 77,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys check it out. If you're going to look at buying a car with your gains. Right? Normal cars, good cars. I have a lot of videos about my Model Y. So you can check those out. Make sure you check it out and subscribe. So that's why I'm so busy. I do 2 videos now for CryptosRUs. And I try to do a video every 2 to 3 days for drivers only. So as you can see, and videos for drivers only take a lot more time. I have to go out and drive it and film it and edit it and stuff like that. It takes a ton of time. What's the other super chat I missed? Are you still bullish on TrueFi? Yes. I think it's one of those very, very overlooked DeFi plays that not a lot of people is talking about. But I do think they're very, very undervalued. I mean, I created a video. I explained why it's undervalued. So if you didn't see that video, you should look it up. TrueFi. And I spill water all over myself. That's embarrassing. Bannon, yes, I'll tap out. I'm just drinking a clear substance in this cup. That's all. Krista, no, I watch it. I watch it pretty carefully, but no, I'm not. All right, I think that's it. I had enough. I think you guys did too. Yeah, so overall, Bitcoin is doing very good. Despite F2POOL dumping on the market again, Bitcoin soaked it up. You know, buyers just bought it up. Why did it happen? I can only speculate, but I think it's because this was done to drive out people were too long on Bitcoin to cause a long squeeze and basically cause people to get liquidated. 400 million were liquidated with this dump. And I know my screen always covers over it, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. So F2POOL, or the whales on F2POOL, is still doing it. That's unfortunate, but the good thing is it gives people a buying opportunity. So we did see Bitcoin and several altcoins come down a little bit. Great buy opportunity, came right back up. Could have made some good money by doing that, right? So you just gotta take advantage sometimes when you can. But overall, I think things are looking pretty darn good. Bitcoin is still at $56,000. After we surpassed 40 something, we shot up directly to 56,000, and it continues to hold. And that's because there's just so much buying. And if Bitcoin does well, all coins are doing well, are going to do well, and they are doing well. They're all doing pretty well. Everything is coming up. And it's fantastic. We're over $1.7 trillion pretty soon. We're going to be at $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Hunter Webb, I did mention about Stargate. I think that's a pretty big deal. Can I review the Audi RS3? I'm avoiding reviewing any RS because it's the winter right now. It's very, very hard to review cars when there's so much snow out. But yes, in the summer, I do have a connection with Audi. They love me. They have all the RSs. RS6, RS7. They have their crazy their SUVs is, I know it's the SQ, like the SQ8. I think they have an RS8 too. And yeah, I'll review all of them. I'll review all of them. All right, guys, you want to review mine? No, I do not want to review your 99 Honda Civic CRV or Honda CRV. All right. Have a good one, guys. Until tomorrow, make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Check out my Patreon page. Good stuff in there. Check out my Teachable page. Good stuff in there. And that's pretty... Oh, this is the last day that you can sign up for your free tax report. So if you want a free tax report, cryptotrader.tax. There's a link in my description. Go ahead and sign up, and you can win a free tax report. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.